Hello, this is Victor Santana at StockHunters.com for the end of the week of September 2nd. Let's take a look and see what the market has done all week on a weekly basis. Here we're looking at the U.S. total market, ETF symbol TMW. And each candle here represents 1 week of trading action. So let's go ahead and take a look at it and see what's going on. Alright, so if you look here, we look like we have a shooting star formation pointing downward, which could be a signal that we may go down eventually lower. It's a little too early to tell, but this is just something to be cautious about. As you can see, our trend line is still below this 0 mark here, which we're still bearish on this. We did get a positive, a little green bar, the histogram, if you could see here, the number here, but it's just the beginning of it. We usually don't like to get into the trend as an investor until this line here is crossing above the 0 line. So for now, let's just take a look and just sit on our hands, for those that can, and let this all play out. Alright, so this is what we've seen on the U.S. markets. Now let's go ahead and break this down to the individual indices. We're going to go ahead and look at the Dow 30. And as you can see with the Dow 30, it's been trying to creep up, but then it formed this shooting star formation up here. And the trend line is still at the bottom, so it's just something to be aware of. The S&P 500, if you're looking at it, we pretty much got the same story. Shooting star formation, and our trend line is still below. Looking at the NASDAQ here, we did get the long shooting star. However, one thing to note is this is a misprint. It didn't actually reach all the way up here in this area, so it's just something to be aware of. There are some that people that believe that some of these misprints that some of these charting software shows is indication of the market movers signaling to each other which way the trend should be going. And for those that believe in this, then you could pretty much say that we're going to be touching up here eventually. So let's wait and see if this comes true. And here we're looking at your trend here pulling up and no bar, so it's still downward position. But let's see if this plays out. I haven't seen this in a long time. It does not happen very often, but when it does, it usually has a pretty good chance of doing what it said. So we'll watch that. Now let's go ahead and look at the Russell's 2000. As you can see, the Russell 2000 also printed a shooting star candle formation here, and we are still below in the trend here. It has been building up a little bit of momentum, but not enough to consider to get in for investment sake. And then let's look at the global markets. Global markets, you could see also a shooting star with the trend line going down. So pretty much all the markets are indicating we're still on a downward trend for now. Now let's go ahead and look at the major sectors and see what's going on. We're going to start with the bonds. And then with the bonds, as you can see, we've been in an uptrend here. Our trend indicator since this date here, April 18th, the week of, has been up higher, so the trend continues. Looking at gold, this trend has been way back February 14th here and continues on up, at showing some resistance up in this area. As you can see, this parabolic move up higher, so we'll just have to keep an eye on this and see, but don't chase it. If you're not in it, just let it play out, and we'll wait for the next entry signal. And let's look at the real estate sector here. Real estate, the downtrend is still down. We've got that shooting star formation. Let's look at the telecom, communication, shooting star formation. We are still down in this area here, the trend line. The basic materials, shooting star formation, also we're below. There's a red line here, downtrend, and down here this indicator also shows that we're the downtrend. Now let's look at the energy sector. Energy sector is also shooting star, and we're still in the downtrend. Now we're looking at the financials. Financials also shooting star, and we've got a downtrend over here. Looking at the industrials, also shooting star and downtrend. We are starting to show a little positive momentum here. Too hard to say. For those that want to take a chance and just put a small position just to see if it does, the market does end up going higher, I would enter right up at the high of this area, which is 32.90. So might be a while before it reaches up here and triggers, but in my opinion, just sit and wait. Let's look at the technology. And technology also, we got the shooting star. This is downtrend over here. Consumer staples, we do have a shooting star, very tight body. So this could be a lot of sellers up here to bring the price down. Looking at the trend here, we did get a green histogram bar. Trend is going up. This one here, as an investor, you may want to put a buy right up here, 31.16, just to see if the trend continues up. But just a very small starting position, if any. Utilities. This is the only other sector here that I'm starting to like. We did get that shooting star here, and we are starting to show positive. Now you can see the trend indicator here is just about getting to the 0 mark, and actually it is just a little bit under. So next week will determine. Now I did mention last week here that there's a possibility if you put a buy here, they may continue to go up, and if you did, you're in the trade, and did see some gains, but then pulled back. Okay, and so we'll just watch and see what happens. If the trend wants to continue up, then by next week we will cross over, and this is where we would start initiate our first position into this sector, utilities, or look for ideas of which utility stocks to get in here for an investment. Okay, as you can see, the trend is still up. It did correct itself here, and so we'll see. Have to wait and see. And now let's go ahead and take a look at healthcare. Healthcare, you also got that shooting star formation, and we also have this little green bar here the first week. So this may be the start also. Usually utilities and healthcare are defensive, so they would go up. So we'll just have to watch on this. If you want, you can go ahead and put a small position at the high of this shadow, or the wick, or whatever you want to call it here, 33.76, and see if that starts. And then finally, consumer discretionary, also positive, but we're way down here still, and it's a reverse hammer, so we'll just have to watch this. And but that's pretty much it for now. Until next time, keep your eyes on the market and stay tuned for next week's video.